Coming up, people have been experiencing stress because of the pandemic. The student government has a solution to deal with it.
From the BMC studio at Onondaga Community College, this is OnTV Update.
Good afternoon, and welcome to OnTV Update. Today is Friday, March 5th. I'm Luke Buskowski. With the pandemic sweeping through the nation, people are looking for a sense of normality. OnTV Update's Sebastian Goodness went on the scene to find one.
Normally, students can roam around without a second thought, but since the pandemic started, things have gotten limited. Board of Trustees member Eleanor Petrucco misses in-person interactions.
That's something that I have really struggled with since the pandemic is seeing just the student involvement go down, obviously.
That level of disconnect can make anyone feel down. Luckily, there's a solution, one that doesn't require in-person interaction.
Such a solution is offered by the student government, in which the leader, Gina Segretti, says we're planned for a while now.
We have quite a few events planned. This week we have some stress relieving events planned. We have an aromatherapy event planned this upcoming next week, and then we also have a lot of other events planned.
These events give Eleanor hope in these desolate times.
I try to attend every meeting that I possibly can. I love it. I love the people on the team and the students.
It may not help stop the pandemic, but at least it brings up morale in the students. From Gordon Student Center, Sebastian Goodness, OnTV Update.
The student government also plans to host a drive-in movie event. They'll need permission from the college to do so. All returning students are required to take a weekly COVID test in order to attend class. Non-invasive saliva-based tests are occurring in the SRC arena, 9 a.m. through 6 p.m., Mondays through Thursdays. Though students may also take tests outside of campus, vaccine students are still required to take a test to schedule your test. Visit sunyocc.edu/COVID tests. If you're looking for a fun time, but don't want to risk getting COVID, you're in luck. Every Monday from noon to 1, the college hosts a virtual game night on Zoom. You can earn points to collect some cool prizes. Go to sunyocc.edu/campus/events for the meeting ID and passcode. The COVID-19 pandemic has had a far-reaching effect on campus culture. Not only are students required to socially distance in campus dining locations, but the dining locations that they may choose from are also limited. For the duration of the spring semester, Mo Whitney Cafe, Whitney Cafe, and Cultural Library Cafe are closed. Gordon Cafe remains open, but seating is limited and spread out. After the break, we will take a look at the week's coming weather. And due to the physical education professors know how to navigate teaching classes despite the snowy New York weather. We'll tell you coming up after the break. We'll be right back. Keep it here with OnTV Up.
The vast majority of the programs that we have are getting students ready to have skills that will transfer right into being able to go to work.
It's exciting to see that, they're definitely, the jobs are in demand for these different occupations.
Most of this stuff is going to be located right here in Whitney Hall. Certainly applied technology and all our labs are located over here in Whitney Hall. You can just reach out to our school office directly.
I love working at the library. I've been a librarian for many, many years. Love helping students. I love the moment, especially here at OCC, when I'm assisting a student who might be doing research and they're just like, say, I never knew about that. I never knew you could do that. And that's such a great moment because we have such a huge and wonderful amount of resources available to students that many of them don't really know how to access.
Finals are coming up fast, and Coulter Library is ready. We have lots of new computers, several new study rooms, and extended hours for finals review sessions. If you're stressed about that final exam or frantically working to finish that term paper, look no further. Take advantage of our subject resources and prepare for the end of a successful semester here at Coulter Library.
I think OCC is a great choice for students, especially if they're not exactly sure what they want to do. I developed the Geospatial Science and Technology program as a way to introduce students to that world that I discovered, learning how to make maps with a computer, collecting data and analyzing that. And we still have a lot of industry connections, and that's always good for trying to find internships or even full-time employment.
I think working with the students and hearing the stories of how successful students are, and lately I've got a lot of, being able to write letters of recommendations to students that are going on to a next program, and hearing about what they've done at their next school or in their next career move. I think that's hearing the success stories and really working with the students and getting to know the students. Sometimes my office is a revolving door because students want to come in and talk, which is great. So that's why I'm here.
Living at OCC is a great experience academically and socially. One of my first impressions of OCC is that it was a bigger than normal community college, more like a private school. All the academic resources are within my fingertips. I can go to the library, do homework outside of the dorms, and then come back and have a nice social life without being stressed. Smaller class size allows me to interact with a professor more. OCC also has a great education with an affordable tuition for anybody of any age.
Welcome back to OnTV Update. I'm Luke Baskowski. Rosa Galavati is with me now to talk about the weather. How do things look out there, Rosa?
Well, Luke, according to the Weather Channel, it is once again much colder here than in Texas with a high today of 28. Tonight we will be dropping into the high teens, so make sure to bundle up. Continuing throughout the day, we can expect it to be partly cloudy with a slight breeze and only a 15% chance of rain. We can expect it to stay cloudy through the weekend and into next week. Going into the weekend, expect the temperatures to be about the same. Looking ahead into next week, we can expect the high to jump up from 33 on Sunday to 49 on Monday. On Monday and Tuesday, the lows will be in the mid-30s. On Tuesday and Wednesday, you can expect some pretty nice days. We're going to continue to see an increasing pattern of high temperatures rising, with the high of 51 on Tuesday and a high of 56 on Wednesday. You may even be able to ditch that winter coat. Exercising can be difficult for many reasons. According to a study done by the University of Florida, when a person varies their type of exercise, they enjoy their workouts more. But I sat down with a student in the exercise science program to talk about the importance of exercising outside and how the weather affects his major. Recently, the winter conditions have been unusually cold and snowy. Certain majors can be heavily affected by snowy weather because winter weather is not favorable when a professor wants to have class outside. Exercise science major Daniel Cashone says that when it's nice out, having physical education classes outside is an awesome idea.
You can do a lot more things outside. So for example, like indoors, we might not have the facilities to do sprints or long distance runs or things of that nature, but where outside we can take advantage of those things and utilize the big open space.
Even though a lot of sports typically take place outside, physical education professor Lindsay Ryder says not going outside isn't really a problem. Professor Ryder has been successful with finding other options, so the winter weather isn't that big of a challenge for his program.
Sometimes, as you know, in the spring semester, the snow lingers for quite some time, and so that sometimes prevents us from being able to use those fields. But we've got the arena and we've got the gym that can do a pretty good substitute for them.
Professor Ryder has learned that the big change in winter is more about people's mindsets. The difference is that people think that because of the cold and snow, they can't exercise in the winter.
One of the things that I love to do outside of school is going to hikes and just things of that nature. And just because I feel like being in nature in general boosts my brain activity. So being able to do two of the same things, being outside and doing class, it just creates a situation optimal for my learning.
A situation that Cashone hopes will be possible soon. The physical education professor feels that fitness is a year-round activity and exercise is valuable and important to your wellness. That's it for weather. Back to you, Luke.
Do you know who your advisor is? If not, then go to sunyocc.edu/school. Click on your school, then scroll down. Names, positions, and contact information are listed below. If you don't know which one to ask for, contact your school secretary, and they will point you in the right direction. How does the COVID-19 pandemic affect how sports are doing at OCC? Coming up on OnTV Updates, a look at how the men's lacrosse team had their season cut short.
To my knowledge, every single person that's teaching in the program is still presently actively working in the field. Every single one of these professors is an expert in their craft. If it wasn't for this department, if it wasn't for people like Mark Ballard or Mike Kaminsky or Magic on the radio side of things, 0 Point and myself, I wouldn't be where I am today.
In the sound recording program, I was asked to develop 4 courses and teach those 4 courses based in studio recording. So learning the basics of microphones and interface boxes and computer software and cabling and all that, and the process of just tracking musical performances and then mixing them. It gives those students who are interested in sound a little bit more of a broader education in how we can apply sound recording.
My classes aren't too bad. As a business major, they're kind of difficult, so I can always come here and get some help, or if I have any questions about my student profile or anything about that, there's always help here. They took me through like the list of options of courses that I could choose, and I picked the best ones that I think were suited for me. Honestly, without OCC and the help of the Student Center, I just wouldn't really be where I am today.
The School of Art, Design, Media, and Music is the best school.
So there's architecture and interior design. There is broadcast media and communications. There is art, photography, and music and sound recording.
We're a little different. We're very artistic, we're very creative.
A lot of the school is about advising, transfer, career building, and community, like having a place for people to go.
My favorite part about teaching criminal justice is the conversations I end up in with my students. We are talking about tough stuff, justice and fairness. What's different here than other places? The commitment of the faculty and staff in leading students towards their goals.
So Career Services does a variety of different things. We help students from day one, so exploring options within majors or careers, we help with that. We help with guiding them anything that they need throughout their schooling here, so helping them get job shadows and informational interviews, internships, volunteer experience, and then ultimately helping them for whatever's after OCC.
Welcome back to OnTV Update. I'm Matthew Davidson. Now let's get right into what has been happening in sports during this pandemic. OCC is known for many things, like how many programs that they offer, but what people don't know is how good their men's lacrosse team is and how they have a good amount of talent on their roster. Onondaga Community College has 17 sports programs, and they've all been affected by this very bad pandemic. It wasn't as visible back in the spring of 2020 when the pandemic just started, but the sports in the spring that were the most affected by it were softball, men's and women's lacrosse, which started in mid-February. The most notable program was the men's lacrosse team because, like Syracuse University, they are known for their championships in their respective divisions.
The past year has been tough on every athlete, especially lacrosse, because most teams only got 2-3 games and before their seasons got cut short.
Even though we may all be having a tough time with the pandemic, the things that we cherish very much are the most affected by like sporting events.
So we had to make that decision early on to be fair to both our students, to let them know what the expectation is, and also our opponents. So our opponents needed to make plans for travel, they need to put together schedules.
Every decision point, there was a lot of research that went into it, and they were well thought out.
I always have been practicing on my own. I always try to incorporate my teammates into it, whether it's the guys that are living on campus or the guys that are still local and commute.
Incredible. Spring sports are on pause right now, but the hope is that the situation clears up later in the semester so they can begin to practice. The safety of the student athletes are the priority right now. If you played it all last spring in an athletic sport, you didn't lose that year when it comes to being eligible for your sport the next season. Every academic year, the NJCAA gives out the awards to athletes that have shown good grades. According to the athletic director, these student athletes had to face much adversity during a global pandemic that saw much of their athletes' seasons end before they began, and they still performed in the classroom. Here are a few of the all-academic team recipients, like Matthew Stu Cheese from the men's lacrosse team and Kaylin Walker from the women's basketball team. Last weekend, Army beat Syracuse 18-11. Army plays St. Joseph's Saturday at home. Syracuse plays Virginia on Saturday at 6 p.m. Then the Hawks beat up on the Boston Celtics by a score of 122-114. The Pacers played the Philadelphia 76ers, and the final score was the 76ers 130 to the Indiana Pacers 114. The Indianapolis Pacers play the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Sixers play the Utah Jazz next. The Ohio State Buckeyes beat Johns Hopkins 14-8. Johns Hopkins plays Maryland on March 6th at College Park, Maryland at 1 p.m. Have you had the chance to watch lacrosse this year?
No, I don't really watch sports. I'm a classic nerd. Thank you, Matthew. When we come back, we'll see what OCC has to offer those planning to transfer. Stay with us at OnTV Update to see what services Onondaga Community College has to help you plan your career. We'll be right back after the break.
Look at what's happened here with COVID. Look at how you've seen other schools where infection rates have been very high, and here they've been extremely low. That's because the students here are really dedicated to doing the right thing and to learn and work toward that degree and work toward a better life through higher education. I think a community college is the perfect answer to everyone's educational needs.
One thing that I love about my job is the people here at OCC. Students definitely need assistance with career exploration, and that's one of our expertise. So making sure that the students know what they want to do and any way that we could support it. I love working with the students. I love working with the faculty and staff. I like that every day is a little bit different.
Recently, the college has developed a new sound recording program, and we partnered with the music department, and 4 of the courses in that program are offered through the BMC program. BMC 225 and 226 focus on live sound reinforcement and recording. So a lot of students who are interested in if they have a band or if they perform live, what's the best way to get their sound to be optimized for their audience?
students can be in any major. They can have disabilities. I have students who do have disabilities and work with another department in addition to me. I have students who are veterans. I have students that work full-time. And I'm just a source of assistance for them to get them through the college process, that's all.
Everybody like on the edge of their seats yelling. People want to see you do good. People actually coming out to watch me play. So it definitely give me an incentive to play hard, get some buckets. I guess it's one of the top JUCOs in the country. This is a good program to get your name out there. I like to go by like the sky is the limit. Like you could do anything you put your mind to. Like I didn't really know I was gonna break a record. I just kind of figured like if I was to put all in the work in, you could do anything that you put your mind to. If you're gonna work hard or something, just give it your all.
Because we're a two-year school, you're going to play right away. As a freshman, you're going to get pretty good parts, and as a sophomore, you're going to have all the best stuff. We have a lot of non-majors involved, and they can play in ensembles, they can take lessons, they can take music classes. They really could do all the music major things. There are no barriers to that. We have great equipment, we have great facilities. It's a lot of fun to be here. There's a lot of energy, and we do a lot of performing, which makes everybody kind of energetic and working towards those goals together, and it makes it a lot of fun.
There will be a drive-through cookie booth happening at OCC tomorrow. The Girl Scouts are selling cookies from 10 till 4 at Lot 13 in front of the Whitney Building. Each box is $5. The Psychology Club is hosting a Strengthening Your Mental Health event this Wednesday. The student-led conversations about mental health topics will take place from 12:15 until 1:15 on Teams. The event is free. The Unity Day Student Committee invites you to a spoken word poetry contest this Wednesday. The free event is from 4:30 till 5:30 on Teams. Sign up and submit your poem by March 9th. The first place winner will get a brand new Apple Watch. Welcome back to OnTV Updates. If you are looking to transfer after OCC, the staff at Career Services is ready and willing to help you. Each school has a career service advisor, someone who can help students plan and prepare for their future. In the School of Art, Design, Media, and Music, that person is Amy Stewart.
Basically helps students on their career journey, everything from figuring out what they want to do through like career assessments and just having a conversation about preferences and interests. I also help students get experience through internships, job shadowing, and also preparing for employment and transferring. So that could be like interviews, getting professional clothing, as well as networking, and then also helping with like the job search process, filling out transfer applications. So it's really based on the student's needs.
Ask anyone who has used Career Services, and they will likely tell you the same thing.
Career Service was very helpful. They helped me with the transfer, they helped me with internships, they helped me with career advice, jobs, resume, and a lot more.
The Career Service Advisors are prepared to help any students who are in need of their services. All you have to do is reach out and ask. This is the last day of transfer week, but you can still get information by reaching out to your advisor. Status on the third COVID stimulus has been slow. According to CBS News, deliberation in the Senate over cost has led the eligibility of the full payments being limited to individuals making under $75,000 annually and couples making under $150,000. The bill is poised to pass soon and would only require a signature from President Biden. Rosa is back now with the weekend weather forecast. Rosa, how's it look?
Well, Luke, today started off cold and it's going to be chilly the rest of the weekend, but Sunday seems like the warmest day. However, I suggest just staying inside this weekend. The whole weekend will be cloudy. Friday and Saturday will be hanging around in the upper 20s with a slight breeze. Sunday will be about the same with a high of 33, a gentle breeze, and a 15% chance of rain. The lows for all 3 days are in the teens.
Thank you for joining us this Friday. For more news, make sure to tune in again next week. I'm Luke Boskowski, and this has been OnTV Update.